Hello everyone, my name is Mariah and welcome to Yoga with Mariah. So today we are going to work on plank pose and Chaturanga. So ARDHA Chaturanga Dandasana to Chaturanga. And I will give you two modifications to really work on Chaturanga and the alignment for it. It is an arm balance, so I guess it would be more like a beginner's arm balance to the more advanced. Because once you know Chaturanga, you can really get into other fun arm balances. So tie your hair back. Let's get started. All right, so I will show you what plank and Chaturanga looks like, and I'll teach it as if I was teaching. And then I will show you modifications that you can do at home to learn Chaturanga, which is your arm balance. All right, so we'll go into plank pose. So come into tabletop position with your knees underneath your hips, and then walk your fingertips forward. And then tuck the toes and lift the knees off the mat. So make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders and that your balls of the feet is directly underneath your heels. Now, if your stance is too short, your hips will be high. If your stance is too long, your hips will be low. So walk your feet forward or back, wherever you're at, until the balls of the feet is underneath the heels. Now lengthen the tailbone towards the knees. Engage the core and firm the legs. Now from here, you're going to bend the elbows halfway and shift forward, so that you're on the tips of your toes. Hugging the outer arms into the midline, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And then lower down. Take a breath here. And find your way into tabletop position. Or on your knees. So that was plank pose and then Chaturanga. They're a quick version of it. So I'll do it one more time. And then I will show you with the props. So come into plank pose, shoulders in line with the wrists, straighten the elbows, firm the legs, use your core. Then release the tailbone down towards the heels, gaze down and reach the center of the chest towards the front of the room. Inhale here, exhale, bend the elbows and shift forward until you're halfway down. Hug the outer arms into the body and firm the legs. Then lower down. Then come up to tabletop position. All right. So we're going to use the blocks first. So you'll need 2 blocks and a strap. So we'll do the blocks first and then the strap second. But you'll place the blocks to the front of the mat, shoulder distance apart. And then you'll find your way back to plank pose. So place your hands right behind the blocks. Point your fingers facing the blocks. Have your hands shoulder distance apart. Tuck the toes and then come up into plank pose. From here, gaze down between the blocks. Firm the thighs and firm the core. And then inhale here. Exhale, bend the elbow and shift forward until your shoulders rest on the blocks. And this will help your shoulders so they're not dipping forward. And then place the knees on the mat and come back up. So that's one way that you can learn Chaturanga with the 2 blocks. Or you can use a strap. So you'll place the strap into a loop. So you'll take one or the end of the strap and you'll loop it through both D-rings and then loop it through one until you have a loop. So make sure that it's shoulder distance apart and that you'll be able to place it above the elbows. Now, this doesn't work for a lot of people or most people, so that's why I gave you the modification with the 2 blocks. But if this does work for you and this doesn't feel uncomfortable, then that's great. So from here with the rings, we'll just test it out before we go onto the mat. So this is what you'll look like from the side in your chaturanga. So you'll have your arms in plank pose, palms are flexed, shoulder distance apart, and then you'll inhale here and exhale, bend your elbows until the strap cradles your body. Then you'll have your elbows in line with your wrists. And you'll draw the shoulders away from the ears to lengthen the neck, and then come back into plank arms. So we'll go into plank right now on the mat. So place your hands shoulder distance apart. Find your way into plank pose. Use your core. Release the tailbone towards the heels. Gaze down. Inhale here, firm the legs. And exhale, bend the elbows and shift forward. And then you're able to rest your torso in the straps. Keep firming the thighs up towards the ceiling. And you'll be on your tiptoes. See, I can stay here for a little bit because the strap is holding me. So then draw the shoulders away from the ears. Reach the crown of the head towards the front of the room and the heels back. And then place both knees on the mat and come back up. So that was 2 options for learning Chaturanga, and I hope you liked the video.